Duncan. Good morning. Good morning, Penelope. So I found it interesting. I had left the water pitcher out and it has got a big chunk of ice in it. And I was like, oh no. It was like 27 degrees last night. So I came out to check on the waters and stuff. Hello, man. Hello, hello, hello. Hey, boy. And they're not frozen. They're not frozen, and there's no icicles in there. There's no chunks of water. Chunks of water. There's no chunks of ice or anything in there, so that was good. I was really happy for that because that tells me that they were warm last night. Look at these guys. They just love their rubs. Oh, look at that. Penelope. I wouldn't leave you out, girl. I would not leave you out. They're so sweet. That's why I want to make sure that they are nice and cozy and warm. So, yeah, like I said, see, water is still really good. It's ice cold, but it's not frozen. So I'm pleased with that. I'm going to get you some fresh water, Duncan. Fresh water, okay? So, I mentioned in my previous video that Duncan was a hot mess, okay? But since that video, he has not pooped anywhere but here. And I think that's awesome. Zeke, get out of there. Zeke tries to eat the little pellets that fall through the thing. Anyhow, I'm very, very excited that Duncan is keeping his room clean. Stop, Zeke. And I have it easy because he poops all in here, which is easy for me to harvest it. See down here, he's got this little pile now. So yeah, that is going to make things a lot easier for me. I might need to move the worm bin forward a little bit so that that can fall in. But I'm not sure. I might just leave it where it's at because it's, you know, back a little bit and out of the wind. So I might just go ahead and leave it where it's at. Penelope's bucket, I think, needs to be moved as well. I switched out Duncan's feeder and put that purple one in there. I got that in that free cage that I got. I don't know if you saw that video, but I got a free rabbit cage and that purple feeder was in there. So I decided to use it in his cage because it was too big for hers. It would take up too much space. So I put it in his cage, and he wasn't excited about it at first, and neither was she. She wasn't excited about his feeder in her cage, but they got used to it, and now she has this feeder in her cage, and he's got the purple one. So the bucket is still underneath the where she eats at, but she's been pooping kind of over more in the corner here, and it's been falling. Well, it doesn't really fall through. I have to come through and clean it anyway, so I could probably just leave the bucket where it's at. I always clear it out so that it's nice and open for her droppings to be able to fall through, but she always covers it all up and makes like a nice tidy path. Anyhow, I'm really happy with how they are keeping themselves clean, and I don't have a lot of maintenance with the cages. They pretty much keep their hay clean especially her. She has a bunch of hay inside her cubby, and she keeps it clean. I don't have to worry about, you know, changing it out and whether or not she peed on it or not, because she doesn't pee or poop inside her cubby. She always comes out here while she's eating and whatnot and poops and pees over here, so that's good for me. And I put these branches in from off of the bush over here. I clipped a few and I kind of covered up the open spots where some air could probably get through, and I put some inside their cage to see if they would use it to you know, keep warm or whatever. Kind of, I just shoved it in different spaces where there were gaps, and that'll help to keep them warm. I insulated all around with styrofoam. You can see it on the outside, big sheets of styrofoam that I had acquired during the summer, and I knew that I could use it, you know, now during the winter. So I went all the way around with the styrofoam, and then I also tarped the front. There's foam boards down. I don't know if you can see. There's foam boards down inside there too, and there are also foam boards up in the roof. So that'll help them to stay nice and warm during the winter months. And I feel better about their hutch now. At first I was a little worried, and I know rabbits are cool weather, you know, animals, and they prefer it to be cool instead of hot. But I just had this, you know, this I don't want to say fear. It wasn't exactly a fear, but it was like an anxiety about keeping them warm enough for the winter. And I think I've managed to insulate it pretty much. I got this small tarp in the front to block out as much wind as possible. And then I put this tote lid up here to kind of extend the roof out just a little bit more, so that when the tarp hangs down, it's not real close to their doors, and then, you know, their doors don't get wet and whatever. So it's down pretty far, but there's still room for air to get in, and there's still, you know, gaps here and there for some airflow, because they need that. And then I'm not gonna cover this airtight. I have like a shower curtain here, and I wanted it to be like a light color so that some light can still get in, and it'll block as much wind, you know, it'll block quite a bit of wind without totally air sealing it. So and then I got the big tarp covering the entire hutch. I got these pallets here with like weights to keep it in place. It goes pretty much all the way down to about maybe an inch or so. So what I do with these pallets is I have a string on each side, and when I open it up, I kind of tie the string back so that, you know, the flaps will stay back. This pole is like a weight, and it's tied to the middle of the tarp, so it hangs and acts like a weight to keep the tarp down. I think I can show you guys. See, like when the tarp is fully down, this will hang, and it'll be like a weight to keep it from blowing back up. And then when they get closed up for the night, I untie these, and then they come down here to the front, and then I tie them down here at the bottom, so then it keeps both sides kind of closed up a little bit. It's kind of like a triangle, because the top will come across and then the sides will come down, and then that shower curtain I will tuck inside of these bungee cords when they're going across, and it stays pretty secure. So I'm feeling a lot better about keeping them warm. I know that they're cold weather animals, and I know that they do good in the cold. And, you know, I have wild rabbits around here, and they pretty much come back every season. And I always see the same rabbits, it seems like. But anyway, they survive out here, and they don't have any help. But I just really wanted my Penelope and Duncan to be comfortable and warm. Now all I have to do is get those Rubbermaid bowls so that their water can be kept so it doesn't freeze. Well, so that I can get it out if it does freeze. But anyway, that was my little update on winterizing my hutch. Duncan is out in the cage, enjoying some grass, some sun. It's still early, so the sun hasn't really peeked around the trees just yet, but he's got a little bit of sun over there. And I got that other shower curtain on top of there to block some of the wind out. But he enjoys being out. He really looks forward to coming out every morning. He really does. Now Penelope, she's wishy-washy. She doesn't always want to come out. But she loves cuddles. She loves the rubs and cuddles. I hope you consider getting rabbits. The only reason I raise rabbits is for the manure, and that's for the garden. The cuteness is a bonus. So right now I'm going to try to rake some of these leaves under the rabbit hutch, because I know that the manure and the leaves together will make a compost. Not to mention I will insulate my worm bin. A nice thick layer of leaves around it. And who knows, maybe next spring, maybe I'll move this hutch. Not far, but maybe I'll move it. And this space will be a nice garden space. But I don't know, because this space here has lots of tree roots coming from the trees, these big trees here. All these roots, you can see the roots coming out of the ground. So I think it would really be hard to grow anything over here besides maybe some shallow herbs or lettuce. But that's fine because this area stays so shaded, and I don't have any other shaded areas in the garden. So this would be a perfect area to grow some shaded vegetables, which are mostly shallow rooted vegetables anyhow, like spinach and lettuce, and even some herbs will grow in partial shade. So this area does get a little bit of sun. It does get some sun, but for the majority of the day it stays pretty shaded. So I'm just doing this because I know it's just gonna be better for the manure and the leaves to compost together. And if I just happen to just break it up in the spring and use it, then that's what I'll do. Otherwise I might, like I said, move the hutch over and make a bed here and grow some stuff. Not to mention, Penelope likes to munch on those leaves. So I just grab a handful and toss them in there. She enjoys it. All right, guys, have a great day. And until next time, the more you know, the more you grow. Bye, guys.